Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is a series a lot of people have been waiting for. How to study in Egypt. What's it like to live in Egypt? What are the things we should be careful about when we are planning to study in Egypt? Today we are going to get the answers for all of your questions, inshallah. Welcome to Mentorsa Talab Al Ilm series. This is a mentoring series that covers everything from A to Z for studying and living in Egypt, inshallah, helping you create a proper roadmap for your dream of studying in Egypt. I struggled quite a lot due to not having a proper mentor or guide on studying in Egypt. So I suffered quite a lot of financial losses along with my time due to there not being a clear roadmap. That's why I thought of creating this mentoring series, because I don't want you to go through what I went through, the suffering and the pain, subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this. Before that, the first question we should be asking ourselves is it really worth studying in Egypt? The answer is pretty clear. 100%. Being in Egypt changed me inside out. It was a life-changing experience, subhanallah. Alright, let's dive right into it. First of all, with regard to Egypt, we need to understand that Egypt is like the heartbeat of Islamic knowledge and civilization. The history here is absolutely mind-blowing. I traveled from the capital of Egypt, which is Cairo, all the way to the southern border near Sudan, covering about 3,000 kilometers, subhanallah, on a bike. It was an absolutely mind-blowing experience. Everywhere I went, I felt this incredible connection to my Islamic roots, subhanallah. And the people, ya salam, Egyptians, Misriyin, they are some of the most kindest and most hospitable people I've ever met in my life, subhanallah. Everywhere I went, they welcomed me like family. It was a constant travel for 1 month. I never had to book hotel for even one day. SubhanAllah. Every place I went, people welcomed me like I was their own family and pulled me to stay with them in their own home. SubhanAllah. Everywhere I went, all I would hear was تفضل معنا تريد الشاي تريد القهوة. SubhanAllah. أهلا وسهلا. Welcome, you're like family. Come here, come to our home, live with us. SubhanAllah. It was amazing. The people in these Egyptian villages, they were very sharing and selfless, subhanAllah. They're very hospitable people. They'll give you everything even when they have very little. Now let's talk about the language. You can't survive in Egypt without having proper Arabic language, subhanAllah. I remember landing in the airport in Egypt and asking the security guard for what the time was. Subhanallah, he just stared at me until I pointed to my watch, and that's when he understood what I was asking. Egyptians are so attached to their Arabic, and you will quickly realize that you have no choice but to learn it. And guess what? Egypt is actually the best place to learn Arabic, subhanAllah, hands down, better than anywhere else in the world, even Medina, subhanAllah. I studied in Egypt and Medina. The environment and study methodology in Egypt, it promotes a better language acquisition opportunity, even than in Medina, subhanAllah. Egypt is a top destination for Islamic knowledge. Cairo is home to one of the oldest institutions of Islamic learning in the world, Al-Azhar University. It has produced scholars for generations, subhanAllah. So, if you come to Cairo, you will not find it hard to find a teacher. The key here is building good relationships with the teachers and students so you know where or who to go to when requiring a teacher for a specific subject. You will have no issues in finding teachers to study Aqidah, Fiqh, Hadith, Quran, Tafsir, or any other branch of Islamic sciences. The options are quite a lot, subhanAllah. If you find the right pathway and put the right efforts, you can become a very, very strong student of knowledge within a few years. Egypt is a top destination for students from across the world to come and seek knowledge. Hence, when you study here, you get a network of friends from across the world. When I was studying in Egypt, I had a brother from France, another from Iraq, another from Egypt, another from Russia, another from Indonesia. All of us were staying in the same place, subhanAllah, in the same home. The brotherhood is just beautiful. Like, you get an international cultural exposure just by studying in Egypt. Ya salam. Living in Cairo is a whole different ball game altogether. It is very loud, it is very crowded, and if you're not careful enough, you can get totally taken advantage of. The economic situation is very tough, and you see the real raw side of life, subhanAllah. But you know what? It made me very resilient. I had a personality development just by living in Cairo. If you can survive in Cairo, you can survive in any other part of the world, subhanAllah. It makes you thick-skinned, assertive, and even more able to deal with the challenges of life. I spent almost a year in a tiny village. The conditions were very tough, food was very scarce, and the village was below the poverty line. There were times when I literally had to survive on mashed potatoes with salt for lunch for days. Seriously, I would smash the potatoes with a spoon and sprinkle some salt in it and call it a meal. It was a humbling experience, subhanAllah, and that made me appreciate the simple things in life so much more. During winter, in this little village, it would get really cold. Even staying inside the room would become unbearable. So I would take two thick blankets and cover myself in it and study inside the blanket with a flashlight on the phone. And we students, we often did not have the money to buy a heater or other amenities. So when the sun comes out in its full power in the afternoon, we would go above the rooftop to heat our bodies so that we don't become ill. I could have easily depended on my parents, but my philosophy in life is basically that after the age of 20, we don't depend on anyone, right? And that basically teaches you masculinity. It makes you an independent person and you understand how to navigate life. Living in Egypt also taught me some serious personal management skills. Prices in Egypt, it fluctuates all the time. And if you're not careful with your money, you can end up broke overnight, subhanAllah. This really pushed me to be disciplined and manage my finances in a better manner. Egypt, it doesn't mess around. The next important thing Egypt taught me is patience, subhanAllah. That's another huge lesson I learned. Cairo is this bustling city where everyone is hustling to make their ends meet. So your comfort isn't their first priority. It's probably not even in the priority list. And that can be very tough to deal with. But it taught me to be patient and understanding. You learn to go with the flow and handle whatever comes to your way. Egyptian government offices are very hard to deal with. It can become very unbearable sometimes. But you have no choice but to hold on. They will make you run around the office just to get a few documents signed. You will be forced to stand in line for hours and hours, and in your turn, they will tell you, Ta'al bukra, come tomorrow. You can't even get angry at them, as getting the papers signed will fully depend on them. So if you get angry at them, any misbehavior from your side, it'll hurt your chances of getting the documents. So this is a serious problem with efficiency in the system. But whatever the reason is, we have no choice but to be patient. It really boosts your tolerance levels and it really teaches you patience. So that's my experience in Egypt. It wasn't always easy, but it was absolutely worth it. Egypt shaped me into a more resilient, more patient, and a more grateful person, alhamdulillah. It gave me a lot of opportunities for seeking knowledge. Each time I think of Egypt, I get nostalgia, beautiful memories. So if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend spending some time there. It'll change you in ways you can't even imagine. SubhanAllah, this is an amazing opportunity for you to make your dreams a reality. Do you dream of studying in Medina? Do you dream of studying in Mecca, in Riyadh, in Jizan, in Egypt, in Yemen, in Mauritania? Then this is a treasure chest of information that'll help you reach there, inshallah. Go to mentorsa.org, navigate to the Talabul Ilm section, inshallah, and you will find here a treasure chest of information about different Islamic universities, different Islamic marakis and learning centers from across the world that you can directly join, inshallah. Let me help you on how to navigate through the website. If you want to join Islamic University of Medina, click here on the Islamic University of Medina and you will find a lot of general important information about the Arabic Language Institute for non-Arabic speakers in the university. You will find information about the syllabus that's followed there. You will find information about the different faculties in Medina University, what are the different facilities that are provided in the Islamic University of Medina, etc. If you want to apply, go to the how to apply section and you will find information about what all documents do you require. If you have more questions, you can directly mail it to us, inshallah, and we will include it here in the FAQ. We already have a few questions that are answered, alhamdulillah. A lot more videos are being made about Islamic University of Medina. If you want to see those, click on the video section. If you want to see photos about the Islamic University of Medina, click the photo gallery. And finally, if you want to have step-by-step guidance and help on how to reach Islamic University of Medina, then click on Consult Expert and you can book a session with a student in the university, inshallah, who will guide you step by step on every procedure from getting to Islamic University of Medina from your country, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open for you doors to Talab Al Ilm, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this a sadaqat al-jariyah for all of us. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.